The Old Man and the Sea, part 29. It must be very strange in an aeroplane, he thought. I wonder what the sea looks like from that height. Height, remember? High is the adjective, height is the noun. Just as weigh is the verb, you can weigh something, and weight is the noun. They should be able to see the fish well if they do not fly too high. I would like to fly very slowly at 200 fathoms. We are talking about 200 fathoms, 365 meters. I would like to fly very slowly at 200 fathoms high and see the fish from above. In the turtle boats, I was in the cross tree. At the top of the mast, you have the mast here, and then you have another pole here, and there's a place you can climb on. That's the cross tree. In the turtle boats, I was in the cross tree of the masthead, the main mast of a boat, right? The masthead. Masthead, and even at that height I saw much. The dolphin look greener from there, and you can see their stripes and their purple spots, and you can see all of the school as they swim. Why is it that all the fast-moving fish of the dark current have purple backs and usually purple stripes or spots? The dolphin looks green, of course, because he is really golden. But when he comes to feed, truly hungry, purple stripes show on his sides, as on a marlin. Can it be anger? Or the greater speed he makes that brings them out? Bring the stripes, right? Just before it was dark, as they passed a great island of sargasso weed that heaved and swung in the light sea, as though the ocean were making love with something under a yellow blanket. Before I get the tone right here, weave, we were talking about going up and down, right? Slowly. And swung is the past of swing, okay? So we're talking about something like this. I wish my movements were more gracious. A person who dances or something would be able to do that very beautifully, but mine is like awkward. Just before it was dark, as they passed a great island of sargasso weed that heaved and swung in the light sea as though the ocean were making love with something under a yellow blanket, his small line was taken by a dolphin. He saw it first when it jumped in the air, true gold in the last of the sun, and bending and flapping wildly in the air. It jumped again and again, and the acrobatics of its fear. And he worked his way back to the stern, and crouching and holding the big line with his right hand and arm, he pulled the dolphin in with his left hand, stepping on the gain line each time with his bare foot. When the fish was at the stern, plunging and cutting from side to side in desperation, the old man leaned over the stern and lifted the burnished goldfish with its purple spots over the stern. Imagine a car shining a lot, right? That's burnished. Its jaws, and of course you can have the verb to burnish. You can burnish a car. So that's how the fish was shiny. Its jaws were working convulsively in quick bites against the hook, and it pounded to the bottom of the skiff with its long flat body, its tail and its head until he clubbed it across the shining golden head, until it shivered and was still. Remember that club is a bat, so the old man pulled the fish to the boat, and used a club you know, to hit the fish, the dolphin, on the head many times until the fish kind of just shivered and poof, died. The old man unhooked the fish, rebaited the line with another sardine, and tossed it over. When you toss, you kind of throw carelessly. Two other cases I would like you guys to remember toss. You can toss a salad, right? So you prepare the salad with lettuce, tomatoes, onions, it's very important as well, maybe rocket or something like olives would be nice as well. And then you put the salt, right? A little sazon, which is good, you know, salad sazon. And then you put there an olive, so salt, a little bit of salt, sazon, and olive oil, lemon, and then after that, you're not going to eat it, right? First you're going to toss the salad, right? One more thing, you can toss a coin that which is the same thing as flip a coin, right? So you can toss. So he tossed it over. There are those two meanings and this meaning here. With another sardine and I tossed it over. Then he worked his way slowly back to the bow. He washed his hand and wiped it on his trousers. Then he shifted the heavy line from his right hand to his left and washed his right hand in the sea while he watched the sun go into the ocean and the slant of the big cod. He hasn't changed at all, he said. But watching the movement of the water against his hand, he noted that it was perceptibly slower. I'll lash the two oars together across the stern, and that will slow him in the night, he said. He's good for the night, and so am I. Well, first, he's good for the night. It means that he has a lot of energy. In our context, he has so much energy, and that he'll be able to go through the night. But can you imagine what is this idea with the oars and to try to slow the fish? So keep in mind, again, get the habit of doing that, right? So every time you have an image like that and it's a little bit confusing if you are following along with your book, try to stop the video before my explanation. Try to use your imagination to picture that, right? That's a big challenge, a very, very big challenge to picture stuff from words, you know. But once you are able to do that, you know, your imagination capacity goes way beyond what you were expecting. And that's not an ability just to help you reading books. That's an ability that will help you see the world, you know. You know, something I realized, and this is a confession I'm making here so I can help you. For me, it's kind of hard to, I don't know, realize what people look like, because I don't usually look a lot at people, you know. I don't know, I don't like the contact. I'm a typical Curitibano, so I am in my little world, right? So if I am walking and then somebody looks at me, I feel uncomfortable, and depending on the person, I don't look at the person while I'm talking, you know. Maybe there are a lot of psychological issues, or but what's the point here? What does that have to do with the capacity of picturing? In my other channel, I'm reading Thomas Mann, right? And I'm reading it in Portuguese. I mean, I'm not exactly reading like I'm doing with The Old Man and the Sea or Dom Casmurro in the other channel, but I'm getting parts of it and commenting, right? And something Thomas Mann does wonderfully well, and many good writers can do, is like describe the facial expressions of people. And then I realized that it was very hard for me to picture those people, you know, because I tended to imagine like almost a caricature. You know, if he told me any characteristic, because I'm not used to the subtleties of, you know, the face and etc. I imagine just that characteristic as being monstrous, you know, and then I try to make that effort of picturing, you know, those people he's describing. But then another effort was required of me, the effort of looking at people, the effort of realizing that people are different from each other. Of course, I know people are different from each other, you know, but looking at the subtleties of the faces and etc. Right? So, what is my point here? My point is, by reading Thomas Mann, right? By reading Thomas Mann, I am led to develop my capacity of seeing the world, you know, because Thomas Mann is showing me that it's possible to look at people, for example, strangers, beyond the level of superficiality. The person is blonde and beautiful. Ah, that's very specific. You know, beyond that. And again, of course, I had that knowledge before, but not to the level of action, you know. So it means in the end that we still have to learn how to use our imagination, you know. And our imagination is a very powerful tool, very, very powerful tool. So this is what I mean when I want you to stop the video, try to picture what is going on, right? We are forcing ourselves into improving. Just like I have to force myself into imagining that people are not just ugly or beautiful, blonde or dark haired, and that's it. And there's maybe strange, you know? A person is strange, right? People are more than that, you know, the characteristics are more than that, okay? Well, so try to picture that, pause the video if you have paused, so you have the boat. I'll lash the two oars together across the stern, and it's stern, of course, is the back part of the boat, and I will slow the fish at night. So here you have the boat, right? And then here's the boat. We are seeing the boat from profile, okay? Profile, this profile, and then he's going to put one oar here and the other oar here, you know. So there will be the two oars. I can't, you know, a little bit clumsy with my hands. Okay, so imagine this is the boat with the oars here. Of course, as the fish tries to pull the boat, you know, the oars are going to offer more resistance, and it will be more difficult for the fish to do so. Okay. He's good for another night, and so am I. It would be better to gut the dolphin a little later to save the blood in the meat, he thought. I can do that a little later and lash the oars to make a drag at the same time. I had better keep the fish quiet now and not disturb him too much at sunset. The setting of the sun is a difficult time for all fish. He let his hand dry in the air, then grasped the line with it, and eased himself as much as he could and allowed himself to be pulled forward against the wood so that the boat took the strain as much or more than he did. Another imagination effort here, right? So pause the video there. You know, the front of the boat is here. Imagine, right? I'm the old man. I have all the strain of the rope against my back, right? So if I let myself to be pulled here, I don't know if you'll be able to. Okay, so imagine the boat is right here. If I let myself to be pulled, right, I will be pressed against the boat, all right, and then I'll just be like I don't know, sandwiched, you know. I will be sandwiched between the rope here, you know, the strain of the rope and the boat. So the boat will take a lot of the strain. That's his idea there. I'm learning how to do it, he thought. This part of it anyway. Then to remember he hasn't eaten since he took the bait, and he is huge and needs much food. I have eaten the whole bonito. Tomorrow I will eat the dolphin. He called it dorado. Perhaps I should eat some of it when I clean it. It will be harder to eat than the bonito, but then nothing is easy. How do you feel, fish? He asked aloud. I feel good and my left hand is better and I have food for a night and a day. Pulled the bold fish. He did not truly feel good because the pain from the cord across his back had almost passed pain and gone into a dullness that he mistrusted. So you have pain, and then it hurts so much, so much, so much that, you know, your hand, for example, imagine you're carrying extremely heavy bags, and then your hands start to get dull. You know, you kind of can't feel it. And of course, you have to mistrust that, you know, because pain is telling you something. When pain goes away and something is wrong, it means that you have lost even the capacity of, receiving that alert. But I have had worse things than that, he thought. My hand is only cut a little, and the cramp is gone from the other. My legs are all right. Also, now I have gained on him in the question of sustenance. I'm going to open another video for this part.